Today on the Real Estate Cheddar Podcast, we're going to talk about why wholesaling is a bad idea for the sellers and the wholesalers.
Really? I guess we'll have to watch this intro and come back.
We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Real Estate Cheddar. We're talking about wholesaling today. I know you're excited.
It's me, Larry B.
And Nellie G.
We're here and we're going to talk about wholesaling, why wholesaling is a bad idea for the seller and the wholesaler.
Okay.
There's so many better ways, right? You know,
what is wholesaling to begin with?
Well, it's when the wholesaler, they call themselves a wholesaler, very few of them are successful, but not a knock. There is a few out there that do this very well.
Okay.
And what they do is they get a contract on a house that they feel like is undervalued, and they market that contract for sale.
So they mark up the, like say they have it under contract for 100. They put,
125, and they sell that contract to somebody for $25,000.
Okay.
And then when they close, they do a double closing, so it goes from their name to theirs. So let's take that into consideration now. So now you did all this work. It probably took you a month to find one.
Okay.
Now you find one that you can buy undervalued, and you bought it for 100. You got a contract. You're hoping everything goes right. The house ARV's 200. You're hoping you can get 125 out of it. It needs $25,000 worth of repairs to be a good rental, and appraised for 200. You're hoping that all comes down, and let's say everything goes good, and you made $25,000. Now you spent a month or better of your time, and you're going to pay 30-something% to capital gains out of that $25,000. You're probably going to have some closing costs of $1,000 or $1,500. So now your $25,000 is more like $11,000. So there's bigger deals than this happen in wholesaling. But let me give you the other scenario. Let's give you the worst case. You get a contract on that house for 100. You're hoping to get 125. You can't sell it. You can't contract, right?
There's nobody to buy your contract.
Yes.
Okay.
And so now they've got a contract they can't sell. Their closing date's coming up, and guess what? They got no money. They can't close it. So now they have to go back to the seller and tell them how they was a fraud the whole time. They really couldn't buy their property. And we see this over and over. That's why a lot of states have made wholesaling illegal.
Right. I thought Kentucky made it illegal.
They did, but there's nobody really enforcing it. They're still doing it. And like I said, don't take it away. There is some wholesalers out there that do a very good job. They're very good at finding undervalued properties, and there is a few, very few out of all of them. What you usually see in these wholesale groups is a house that ARVs for 200, nice, and they want 175 for it, and it needs $35,000 worth of work. They undervalue the repairs. They think they can do it cheaper. The property never sells. They go back to the seller. The seller's mad. It's a whole ugly situation. Now the seller has given a 4, 5, 6 month contract to a buyer that never closes on their property. They wanted to sell it a long time ago. They've been paying on it the whole time. They got to pay property taxes again. It's not a win for the sellers.
Right.
And they all get these calls. We hear it all the time from people, especially if they've got a house that's empty. Like if they inherited a house and it's empty, it seems like the wholesalers, they flock to that house. And we'll have people say, oh, I've had 27 calls and 57 mailers that people that want to buy my house. Well, guess what? I'm going to give you a real eye-awakening thing today. They probably have $0, and they can probably never close on your house.
The wholesaler?
Yeah.
So they're
a
basically
lot of them are out there that way. Now,
robbing
some of
Peter
them,
to pay Paul.
yeah, some of them will get a contract on a house, and if they really feel like it's undervalued, they'll just go on and close on it if they don't sell a contract. There is some good wholesalers out there. I take it, I'm going to be honest, but there's a whole lot of them that are bad news. But let's say, okay, you find a great wholesaler, and you want to give him a contract on your house or give her a contract on your house, and you really like this person and they're a great seller, there's only one way a wholesale situation works. You know how it works? if you sell your house too cheap.
Oh,
That's the only way it works. I told you before, your house has to be undervalued. So your sale price has to be less than what it's worth for the wholesaler to make money.
true.
It's
Right.
always best for you to use a real estate agent when you go to sell your house and let them get the top dollar. Let them put it on the market where the whole world can see it. Let them bid on it. So let's say this. If I'm a real estate agent, you want to sell your house. You give me a listing contract that's exclusive office, and I only show it to 10 people, okay? Or I put it on the MLS and the whole world sees it. Which way you think you'll get higher offers?
Simple. Fun number.
So that debunks the whole wholesale thing now, right? But Larry, they gave me enough. That's really what I wanted for the house, and that's what they wrote the contract for. Well, they still may never close at that number, right? And why would you let them make a profit on you? Why wouldn't you sell the house for 125 that's worth 125 instead of selling them to 100 and let them make 25?
Right.
It makes no sense.
Right.
Not only that, the wholesalers. We see you see a whole lot of people get into wholesales because they think they can do it with little or no cash. And that's why you see we got this big boom right now. The whole world wants to be a wholesaler. I just want to be a wholesaler. There's so many ways, better ways to do this system than as wholesaling, right? First off, if you get a property that's way back of value and you're buying it undervalued, say it's a property somebody tried to sell, they just can't sell it, they're not good, maybe they hired a bad realtor and overpriced it, maybe who knows, okay, and they just want to dump the property and you can get it behind value, why wouldn't you just go on and close on the property, do a hard money, do a DSCR loan, or do an owner finance deal with a little cash down? So wholesaling is a whole myth, and it's a way. It's actually, in my opinion, it's just a bad setup that has went viral online, and people really think they can make it work.
It's a lot of ifs and buts.
There's 90% of the fraud in the real estate market is in the wholesale market. That's the facts. I'm gonna get a lot of flack on this one in the comments, and that's okay. That's okay. We can all agree to disagree because I'm sure there's wholesalers out here that are going to say, "Look what I made last month. This is what I did," And like I said, there is a few out there that are legitimate, but that same person could go get a real estate license and make a lot more money, and have a lot more opportunities and do it the right way instead of flipping contracts. Because if somebody gives me a house or property, we bought one not too long ago, a commercial property. The guy he just wanted it gone. His situation's changed. He didn't need any more. He kind of tried to sell it himself. He couldn't, and we bought it. We bought it undervalued, but you know what I didn't do? I didn't do a contract and sell it because I'm going to take that money. We're going to keep that property. If you find properties, they're hard enough to find undervalued anyway, but when you find one that you can buy on the money, what you want to do is you want to buy it. You want to close on it yourself. The wholesale deal is not the answer. The big thing that attracts people to wholesaling is little to no cash out of your pocket, right? So anybody can write a contract on a house, and that gives you something to sell that maybe you can make some profit on. The little bit of profit that you're probably going to make if you do this is going to be eat up by taxes and expenses and fees, stress, yes, time. I mean, how many hours did you have to send on the phone? How many mailers did you have to send out? How many thousands did you spend on that to make this $25,000 that now you pay taxes on ends up being $13,000. Now your closing costs you $11,000. Now you spent your gas, your mailers, you add all that up. You spent 3 months, 4 months of your time, and you made $8,000. So you could have the same thing, just closed on the property for $100, did the flip, fixed it up, rented it out, refied it, pulled your cash back out, and made a lot more money out that same exact situation.
Mm-hmm.
You could have done owner finance with an 18 or 24 month balloon. The owner gets all their money pretty quick. You give them $10,000 down, make monthly payments. They make a little interest. Everybody's happy. That same deal turns into very profitable for both sides. So it's just wholesaling. I don't understand it. There's not really the profit to be worth the headaches that's in it. And there's so much fraud. There's so much. It's really got popular. You know, it's a question we get a lot because there's this myth that you can get into it with zero cash, and most wholesalers never make it through their first deal.
Gotcha. So the risk is way higher than the reward.
And just know, as a seller, you might sign a contract with this person. The signs, first of all, that they want to be a wholesaler is they have a long closing day in there, right? And they will write in the contract that it's assignable, which most contracts in Kentucky are assignable anyway, but they will put extra protection in there saying they can sell the property. So them are keys. If somebody wants to buy your property, especially if they make you a cash offer, it should be no more than 30 days to close. If they're asking you for 4 to 6 months, there's probably a reason. I would do a little more digging. Asking that person, search their social media, the person that's making the offer. If you see a bunch of wholesale stuff on there, that's exactly what they're doing. And if they made you an offer, your property's probably worth 20 to 30% higher than what they made you the offer on. So keep that in mind. They're always going to look at things that are undervalued. So they're going to offer you less on your property than it's worth. And what you'll see is people inherit a house, or they'll try to do for sale by owner and they get no luck, because that's a great way where they look for properties for sale by owner. And they'll not have any luck for sale by owner, so they'll sell it to a wholesaler and they think they're saving the real estate commission, when actually they would have closed a lot faster. They would have got a lot more cash in their pocket just listing the property. I tell my own friends, that's fine. If you don't like me, that's great.
Your own friends don't like you?
Well, whatever. If they don't like me, that's great, but list your property.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to net more money in your pocket listing it with a realtor, even if it's ugly, even if it needs work. We've got plans for that too. So we teach all this, how to sell and buy your properties, what to look out for. It's melarryb.com. We've got coaching for everybody, real estate investors, real estate agents. We teach a lot of things. So we have a lot of agents that don't understand wholesaling, and that's why we're going to get into this here. Most states now have banned wholesaling. It's illegal. Now, most of the laws, it's over 4 or 5 properties a year. There's certain things you can do. So they still skirt around it somehow. You've seen a lot of the groups about wholesaling, things online. The people posting the big winners usually have done this over and over again. They know what they're doing, but very few of them make it through their first deal. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when somebody wants to come buy your property. Know what you're dealing with. Get with a title attorney, real estate agent. Figure out what the contract says. There's a lot of pages to some of these contracts, and you want to know what you're signing. If there's certain provisions in there, you're probably getting a wholesale, and it may never close.
Back to surround yourself with a good team.
Yeah. If you're going to spend the time in wholesaling, surround yourself with real estate agents. Deal with these people accordingly. We get it. The signs of an offer from a wholesaler is very easy to see. They always want a long contract. So keep that in mind. Real Estate Cheddar. We'll see you next time. Don't forget our coaching. It's melarryb.com. Check it out. We got discounts out for the first month. Give you a little insight, courses, videos. We teach all this stuff, and we get into our best tips and tricks. So we'll see you next time.
Let's go.
It's me, Larry B. Media. Hooray!
That was really good. Did a good job.